Hey everyone, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to explain Kubernetes Taints and Tolerations. And you know why this matters? Because by default, Kubernetes treats all nodes as equal. If you have a high-performance GPU node and a generic compute node, the scheduler might put your memory-heavy database on the wrong one, causing massive performance degradation. So why do you need taints exactly? Without them, the Kubernetes scheduler treats every node as a generic resource. This leads to what we call noisy neighbor issues, where low priority background tasks consume resources meant for your critical applications. Or even worse, you might have sensitive workloads running on nodes that simply don't meet your security or hardware requirements. So what is a taint and toleration exactly? A taint is a label applied to a node that tells the scheduler to avoid placing pods there unless they have specific permission. A toleration is a configuration on a pod that acts as that permission slip. Think of a taint like a VIP only sign on a door, and a toleration like the gold-plated badge that lets a specific guest walk right in. Let us walk through how this works internally. The scheduler evaluates every node against the pod's requirements. If a node has a taint, the scheduler blocks all pods unless they have a matching toleration. If the pod has that toleration, it is allowed to be scheduled onto that node. This is how you enforce workload isolation in your cluster. Before we start, you need a few things ready. First, you need a running Kubernetes cluster, version 1.20 or newer. You also need the kubectl tool installed and configured. Crucially, you must have cluster admin privileges because applying taints is a privileged operation. If you haven't done so, open your terminal now and run the get nodes command. If you see your nodes listed, you are ready to proceed. Take a moment to review each point shown on screen. Now, let us actually taint a node. We used the kubectl taint command followed by the node name, the key value pair, and the effect. Here, we are using the noSchedule effect. This tells Kubernetes that any pod without a matching toleration will not be scheduled on this specific node. If the command was successful, you will see a simple confirmation message on the screen. This means the node is now officially tainted, and the scheduler will start respecting that restriction immediately. Now, how do we let a pod land on that node? In your pod manifest, you must add the toleration section. Notice the key, value, and effect must match exactly what we set on the node. If even one character is off, the pod will fail to schedule on that node. Once you apply this manifest, the pod status will show as running. This confirms the scheduler successfully matched the pod's toleration to the node's taint. In a production environment, you should always taint your control plane nodes. This prevents standard application workloads from accidentally running on your master nodes, which could impact the stability of the entire cluster. This is standard practice for any managed Kubernetes cluster. You can verify the taint is applied by running the describe command and filtering for taints. This is the exact output you want to see for a properly secured control plane. So what is a common mistake here exactly? If your pod stays in pending status, it often means the tolerations don't match the node's taint. The scheduler literally cannot find a home for the pod. You must double-check the key and the effect against the node's configuration. A logistics tracking platform serving 5 million shipments per day uses taints to separate their real-time data ingestion pods from batch processing jobs. By isolating the ingestion pods on high-performance nodes, they reduced latency spikes by 40% during peak shipping hours. That is the power of proper scheduling. So when should you use this? Use taints when you need to strictly limit specific workloads to specialized hardware like GPUs, or to isolate system-critical components like ingress controllers. However, do not use taints for simple pod placement preferences, as node affinity is better for that, and definitely do not use them if you don't have a plan for how your pods will receive those required tolerations. Use these criteria to decide if this tool is right for your situation. Let's recap. Taints act as a repellent for nodes, while tolerations act as a key for pods. The no-schedule effect is the most common, but remember that no execute can evict existing pods if they don't tolerate it. Always verify your taints using the described command to be certain. Finally, use taints for hardware isolation, not just as a preference. This will keep your cluster stable and performant. I believe this video will definitely be a useful video. If you like the video, please do like and hype the video. Also share it with your friends and groups. It may be useful to somebody else. If you have any doubts or any requests, please let me know in the comments. Make sure you have subscribed to stay updated for our regular videos. Join our WhatsApp community using the link in the description because we share more knowledgeable content every day. Thank you for watching. See you soon in the next video.